Francisco, a woman is suing the city after she says that she was violently arrested for allegedly jaywalking. The whole thing was caught on camera, and Amanda Harry has these latest developments.
Christiana Porter was walking in this crosswalk right here. That's when a police officer pulled up behind her, but she continued walking, having no idea she did anything wrong. Then things took a scary turn. More than 6 months after Christiana Porter alleges she was unnecessarily and violently detained, she says she's still fighting for justice.
A lot of times, I just want to crawl up in a ball like an infant and just hold myself because it's just a lot for me to, it's a lot, but it's also very important to speak out.
This week, she filed a lawsuit. It states on July 29th, she was crossing Geary Boulevard near 2nd Avenue after visiting Office Depot. As she enters the crosswalk to get to the other side, the signal showed approximately 8 seconds remaining for her to cross. When she is just feet away from the opposite curb, San Francisco police officer Josh McFaul's vehicle appears behind her with lights on. According to the lawsuit, he gets out, starts to question her and ask her for her ID. When she reaches into her bag to comply, he reaches for his firearm and tells Porter she's under arrest.
Get your hands out of your bag. Get your hands out of your bag, get it on the ground. I'm not going to get on the ground because my feeling is that I'm probably going to get killed. You're probably going to shoot me in my back if I get on this ground.
Porter says he tried to force her to the ground. The experience was traumatizing. She's a domestic assault survivor and a single mom of 5. She didn't know if she would ever see them again.
My feeling was just to stay alive, just that they're trying to take my freedom from me, and I know my rights, and this is not right.
Porter's attorney, Travis Stewart, says a stop like this should have never happened. California decriminalized jaywalking back in 2023.
This was clearly a pretextual stop. There's an abundance of research that proves that San Francisco police officers, engage in discriminatory racial policing.
In addition to the emotional trauma of the experience, Porter says she also suffered a concussion, a separated right shoulder, and ongoing back and neck pain that has forced her to stop working as an esthetician. She hopes filing this lawsuit will bring about change.
Accountability, 100% accountability. Like, no amount of compensation can account for what happened to me.
In a statement from the city attorney's office, they said they're reviewing the complaint and they'll respond in court.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. This is an incident that I just found out about, but it happened last year in about May of 2024, August, somewhere in there, where you see the young lady, Christiana Porter, walking with headphones on. Now, I'm going to play you another video that shows a little more detail of their interaction, but the officer's pretext for stopping her was because she was jaywalking. But as apparent with the video, they said it showed 8 seconds for her to cross. Nevertheless, this officer tries to pull up on the curb and stop her, but she has headphones on, so she can't hear him. She keeps walking. Then this officer drives around down a one-way street to cut her off, and that is when we see her being assaulted and slammed against the wall for jaywalking. Now, it was also said that he asked to see her ID. When she reached in her bag, he pulls out his gun and said, "Get your hands out of the bag." Where do you think her ID would be at? And then they said that she was resisting because she wouldn't let him throw her on the ground. That is resisting. When we don't allow police to assault us unlawfully, then we are the criminals. Nevertheless, you see him slamming and pinning the lady up against the wall. She has hence been traumatized, even been prevented from working because she has a separated shoulder and, probably some lasting injuries from her head being slammed up against the wall. Now, why did this also feel the need to aggressively attack her like, he was going after the Taliban or that person who just shot 2 cops in D.C.? This is a woman who committed a infraction at best. But it was also noted that San Francisco has decriminalized jaywalking unless it was a reasonable possibility that it could cause an accident from, a moving violation or a moving vehicle. And that scene, we saw no one but the lady walking across the street. Now, as her lawyer said that, San Francisco police has a track record of indiscriminately policing Black people. No, not just San Francisco police. That is every police department in America. But just watch this next video, which is going to give you a little bit more time to see this officer assaulting this Black mother of 5. Just watch. And these videos are fair use for literary and commentary purposes only.
New at 5, a San Francisco woman has filed a lawsuit claiming she has suffered physical and emotional damage as a result of what she says was an illegal jaywalking arrest. Crown 4 Stephanie Rothman spoke with the woman and her attorney.
On July 29th, cell phone video from bystanders showed police pitting Christiana Porter against a building in San Francisco's inner Richmond neighborhood. According to Porter, the light changed while she was crossing, but the San Francisco officer turned his lights on and pulled up onto the curb, arresting her for jaywalking in the crosswalk near Geary Boulevard and 2nd Avenue.
I feel like I was stalked because I'm walking while Black. Once my head got smashed into the wall, and all I could feel was to stay alive, to just stay alive, just to get through this moment, get through to the next day. That's all I could think at that point.
The 35-year-old's mother and domestic violence survivor is suing the city of San Francisco and a police officer involved after she says she was physically and emotionally attacked by police.
Physically limited, and now I find myself having to rely on them to take over. Like my oldest daughter is 16. I just told her, I'm like, purchase you guys a used car. So I teach you how to drive because, Mom can't really drive right now. So that's the most frustrating part for me because at 35 years old, I never thought in a million years I'd be in a situation.
Porter suffered a concussion, separated shoulder, back pain, neck pain, and nerve damage from the incident. But her attorney says the lawsuit is also a call for accountability.
Pretext stops in San Francisco are discriminatory. There are racial disparities in policing. And even though this law was enacted to circumvent that type of conduct, it continues on. And this officer violated the law and the policy.
Just speaking out is very important, and pursuing the legal action and letting the oppressors know we're not afraid no more.
We reached out to SFPD for comment, but did not hear back in time for this report. Reporting in San Francisco, Stephanie Rothman, Crown 4 News.
And you hear the young lady say, my only thought was just to make it through this experience, to make it through the next day. She even said that if she got on the ground, her fear was the police would shoot her. Now, why does Black people have to have even the thought of those things when encountering police? Fear that they might shoot us, fear that we just have to survive this encounter. That is not a very good description of what an encounter with police in America should look like for anyone, but let alone Black people. And so kudos to this young lady. She's obviously still suffering from mental distress, being a domestic violence survivor. And then she is a victim of domestic violence from police because police are domestic agents. So they shouldn't be enacting violence on citizens, especially one who's just walking down the street, leaving Home Depot with headphones on. And this overzealous, and his name is Josh McFaul, if you want to know, of the San Francisco Police Department. This overzealous officers, because of, I can only think, okay, well, let me go mess with this Black woman. Because, show me the video where white police are slamming white women for walking across the street while the light changed. And so this is another example of, policing in our communities, in our countries where Black people are involved, definitely is a two-tier system of policing when it comes to Black people and white people. And this is just another example. You even see white people out there on the scene like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I think San Francisco, California is a little bit more progressive. They are willing to call out these things. I don't know why, but, you know, still neither of them white people jumped in. I think if white people would jump in on those things, they wouldn't be shot or they won't be even charged, because white people are allowed to do the right thing. You know, if Black people jump in, you know, I wouldn't advise that, because then, you know, you will be shot, tased, taken to jail, charged with all types of felonies and the like. So shout out to Miss Porter. I hope that, you know, her legal issues will bring forth fruitfulness in the form of compensation. As she said, though, no amount of compensation can, you know, account for that. But, you know, it will help, especially since we already know that they're not going to do anything to the officer. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. I do thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. And as always, I pray you have peace and blessings. The scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Who keep the people informed? Stories abroad from literary work, where the narrative's wrong. The research is always on point, the commentary is hard. It's Rich Teller raising the bar. Follow along, shout out to FBA, still FTP, big up NFAC, and all my Black families. It's three sides to all stories, which one you gon' believe? We run down on the false prophets when they come to deceive. 100% urban world news, current events. We don't like them lies. Media is biased, we got God beside us. Ladies and gents is power. If you don't know by now, look around, we the darkest hours. Cops squeeze your hammers, they don't understand us. We stop and freeze with our hands, and kill us off like cancer. Don't speculate before the facts on the case. Telehouse set them straight by smoking rich investigates. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.